Richard, let's start. Richard. We'll start with Caleb Wooden, who Arkansas just signed. I just wanted to say that a couple times, back to back. Auburn safety. What can you tell us about Arkansas's latest addition?
Yeah, the last two games, he's had pretty good games against Arkansas. 2 years ago in Fayetteville, I think he returned a 74-yard fumble against Arkansas. And this past season, he had like 3 tackles against the Hogs. But guy that's got good size, about 6 foot, 6'1", about 190. Obviously, he's been to the wars of SEC play, and good addition there. But guy that just felt really comfortable with Coach Travis Williams and Marcus Woodson, and I think that helped seal the deal there. And he obviously has started in the SEC, so he's a guy that knows the league and knows what to expect.
Richard, do you think we'll see anyone opt out this weekend prior to the college football playoff, or are we going to see changes within teams that have a chance to move on to the national championship?
Wow, that's a good question. That I guess I would think so, but at the same time, we've seen some crazy things already, so I would lean towards not.
Yeah, Richard Davenport with us. So walk us through, because I get confused. I think these portal periods and kind of what happens. I know as we're getting closer to the spring semester starting here in 10 days or less than 10 days in most places. So what's the timing of all of this moving forward?
As far as the portal?
Yeah, is there any? Because I know there's another one after spring. Things have closed now. People have asked, and I get confused because I think some of it, still is in flux a little bit. As we get through spring ball, I know there's another period there as well.
I just speak about Arkansas, and obviously, like you said, all the other schools are about to start spring semester, and it may be a little later than Arkansas, maybe a little sooner than Arkansas, but Arkansas starts spring classes on Monday. And then you have like a 4 or 5 days window where guys that are late additions or whatever can still enroll. But after that, you have to get a special permission from the school to enroll. And I think, and I'll have to look this up. I remember writing about it, but there's only been like one exception for Arkansas to where they allowed a kid, and I think he was a fairly well-known kid. But one exception where he enrolled after the 4 or 5 day window that usually people can enroll for the spring semester after the start of the classes. So I don't know how other schools handle it, but as far as guys that are after the national championship game or the semifinals entering the portal and trying to transfer for the spring semester. I don't know how they'll be able to do it. It would, obviously the games are on Thursday and Friday, so I guess they could still, visit some schools and get enrolled. If they were enrolling, say at Arkansas someplace, they could still do it, but it would be hurry. But the January 20th national championship game, I don't know how that would work as far as guys if they wanted to transfer. That part I don't know, because there's so many other schools, so many schools would had started the spring semester, and the 4 or 5 day window had passed. So I don't know how it would work with those guys.
So Darren Wilson's left the staff on the defensive side. What kind of recruiter did the staff lose there, and any names you're hearing floating around to replace him?
No names. I imagine Travis Williams, Marcus Woodson have some guys in mind, and they probably have whoever it is. It's probably been affiliated with them, or they know somebody that they know and that's usually the way it works. But there could be some surprises. I know there's, I've been reached out by some people about the job, but it's usually them knowing the replacement in the past and having a good track record of knowing what kind of a coach and recruiter that they might be. But Coach Wilson was a good recruiter. He was very, a younger guy that really related well with the kids, and they really liked him, and he got some good guys on board when he was here. Obviously, the number one junior college prospect in the country at the quarterback position, and then he was so close on some others that went to some big schools, but he had Arkansas in the running. So, and another thing that I really liked about him is he was a very direct guy when it came to coaching. He was a good coach as far as communication with his players, but he also was kind of a little bit of an old school guy too, which was kind of surprising to me. But they'll be fine. But at the same time, I mean, you have to be happy for him to be able to get a coordinator's job, and he's going to continue to work up the ladder, I'm sure.
All right, Richard, serious question. Are you ready for snow tomorrow and Friday? Do you actually want it to come to Northwest Arkansas and across our state, or would you rather the weathermen and weatherwomen be wrong about the next couple days?
Well, I don't mind it. The main thing is just being able to get around afterwards. And snow doesn't really bother me. I remember when we lived in Maumelle a few years ago, we had 2 feet of snow. We had a storm come through, drop a foot of snow, and then another storm 2 or 3 days later, we had 2 feet. I was still able to get out because snow's, it can still be a little dangerous, but snow's not that difficult driving. It's a drive-in. No, obviously ice, that's a different story. So bring it on. I don't care.
Yeah, hopefully it's more snow than it is ice. I know that's something always difficult-wise. What do you expect in attendance tonight, man? Ole Miss, I know Ken Coleman, Cal, they've talked about that. They want this place to be hostile. Florida's coming into town on Saturday to stripe out. I mean, what are we going to see in Bud Walton Arena these next 2 games?
I think it'll be near capacity or capacity. Now maybe the cold weather will keep some people in, but I think you're probably going to minimum. I think probably 18,000. I mean, that's usually, isn't that the way it usually is for conference games in the past? And then obviously people are still excited about this team. So I tend to think it's going to be near capacity or capacity, both games.
Yeah. And, Cal's talked a lot about that. Ken Coleman spoke to it yesterday. They need this building to be the way it was when Kentucky came in. And that's, Richard, something that Cal's mentioned a lot. It almost feels like he's having to beg people to come out, which is not the way it should be.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be taken care of with conference play. I really do. I think I understand his frustration.
He's not used to that. He's used to every seat being filled.
Hey, let's face it. Kentucky's just a different animal. They'd go out and see Kentucky play a bunch of kindergartners. So our Arkansas fans have shown that they're just not that level right now. So I can understand where he's coming from, but it's usually resolved for conference play.
Richard, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate your insight this morning. We'll do it again next week.
All right, man.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.